All right, hello everyone. We're on May 30th. Yeah, it's Saturday, May 30th. And we're about to actually do something. We're going to start tracking. I got my fingernails all clipped. I've got new frames for my glasses. I've got a new phone here that has a better camera. Hopefully the color and the quality of the picture is a little bit better. I think we're all ready. Yeah, what I'm going to start on this one, I guess I'll start first by talking about the gear. Okay. So, today I'm going to be tracking the first song, which is entitled Crowd of Millions. And we're going to do the scratch tracks on my acoustic electric. So this is a Taylor acoustic electric, a 310 CE. So CE stands for cutaway. That's the designation they give it when this part is cut away, right? You've seen some guitars that have like the full shape here, but the little horn cut in, supposedly for better access up to the higher frets. The 310 is the Dreadnought version. So that's what this is, a 310 CE Taylor acoustic. It was purchased in 2006, I believe. It's a great guitar. I love it. I've never thought about getting another acoustic. I had a previous acoustic before this one, kind of moved up. But this one is very high quality, made in the USA. I believe the wood is sapele, if that's the correct way to pronounce it. At least the top is. The fretboard, I believe, is ebony. And that's about all I really know of it, other than it sounds great. To me, Taylors have kind of a brighter sound to them. I used to be into the dark kind of sounds when I was a teenager, but tastes change, and I've grown to like the kind of bright projection. They call it chimey top end sometimes, that Taylors tend to have. And this one definitely has it, and I love the sound of it. Okay, so for this song, again, it's called Crowd of Millions. It's kind of the opener song, opening track. I've got it tuned, the guitar is tuned down a full step. So when you play an E chord, an E shape, that's actually a D. All the strings are down one full step from a normal standard guitar tuning. So when I'm talking about it, when I say like A to E, that's actually a G to a D. Okay, so Crowd of Millions. Like I just mentioned, it's the first track that's going to be on the album. I'm kind of thinking of this album again as like a collection of characters. So each song is going to maybe portray a different character. But here at the beginning, what I wanted to do is kind of do a thing that you may pick up if you go to theater, is an opening song that kind of introduces the entire cast. So I've mentioned that I'm thinking of this as like a city or just any sort of society, country, city, just any sort of population or community. So the opening track is going to be about the people of this city or this community. So it's kind of inclusive of everyone in general. It's not a specific character. Each subsequent song after that will be about the specific characters that live in this community. So that's why I've called it Crowd of Millions. What I'm also doing is I'm introducing some musical themes that will pop up throughout all of the other songs. So we'll begin. The first theme is just this quick 2-chord progression, well, technically 3 chords. I throw a 3rd chord in there, but it's based on 2 chords, which is an A sus and a E minor with a flat 5. So that's your B flat. And so it kind of goes like this. There's a G chord. So that's the first theme. I've got other ideas. I work that progression into it as well. A lot of times that E minor flat 5 I play up here in 7th position, like that. And again, there's your B flat. So I work that chord into a lot of things. I love the flat 5 chords. Adds a lot of tension and darkness, I guess, if you want. But it kind of sounds off, right? It sounds off, but to my ears, in a song, in a progression, it really moves it along, or it gives it some kind of like, perks your ear up to listen to how it gets resolved. All right, so that's the first musical theme. The second musical theme is, in this song, I put it as a riff, but it's a progression of F to B flat. And I'm throwing the E in there kind of as a pedal tone. So the riff here goes like this. So that's the riff that kind of goes in between verse to verse. It's a transition between the verses. And then the last theme that I'm introducing in this song is another chord progression. I gotta play it while I sound it out. There's your A, there's an F, there's a G, and there's a B flat. So I also play it in this manner using the triads. A sus, it's your F, G, B flat. And then underneath all of those chords, I'm pedaling an A note as well, the open A string. So a lot of tension there, and then resolve. All right, so those are the 3 basic themes in this song. It's one of my favorite things, my favorite band, Dream Theater. They do that a lot of times, even though the songs aren't in a concept album. Sometimes they do a lot of concept albums, obviously, but a lot of times just within an album, you'll hear a progression or a musical theme from 2 different songs that they work into, different variations of themes. So I love to do that myself, and that's what we're going to try to do. So those 3 basic themes are going to be throughout all of the songs. And here in the first song is just the introduction. So that's how it works, right? The first song is an introduction. We're introducing a cast of characters, so to speak, and we're also introducing musical themes that will come back throughout. So I've got my file up and going. Logic is ready. I've got 72 BPM, and I've got the click on 1/8 notes, so that's good. I've got my acoustic electric going through the interface. I've got an extra microphone right here going through the interface. So while I'm playing the guitar, I can mumble lyrics or just mumble like when the chorus comes or when a verse comes. So, right, I can hear all of that through my headphones. I got this set up, I think. Check. Yep. Okay, that's good. The guitar is coming through, the vocals are coming through, and I think we're ready. All right, so let's hit the old R button for record, and we'll start making this official. Here we go. Let's begin. All right, so yeah, I definitely got off beat there. So I'm gonna turn up the click track just a little louder so I can hear it better in my headphones. It was getting drowned out by the guitar a little bit. And then redo it. Yeah, so when doing scratch tracks, the most important thing is being in time. I said you can mess up, that's fine. Being in tune does not matter. There are screw-ups that happen, perfectly fine, but you really want it to be in time. You want to stay with that click, with that metronome, and that is because it's easier to kind of edit and rearrange. So as you're going through and listening back and making changes that always happen, you can say, oh, this section I want it to go another 4 bars, or this section I want it 2 bars less. As long as it's in time and on the click, the metronome, you can easily do that. You can edit it and then move it over. And then you have your arrangement and nice and set, and everything's in time for when you start actually laying down the other tracks. Most importantly, drums. So the scratch track is there to be edited, and as long as it's in time and you're good with the click track, you're in tempo, you can do that. It's easy to edit and move things around in Logic. Again, Logic is the DAW that I use. So we're gonna have to redo that. It's inevitable. Several takes. Here we go. This is the journey, so let's redo this. Okay, so stupid me. I just realized the reason I was getting off time is because I've added 2 pickup beats to the very beginning of the song. So that A chord, there's your 1, right, on the E. So I was starting on the 1 and 2 and 3, or the upbeat of 3. Yeah, so I gotta wait 2 more beats, or start 2 beats earlier, right? 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Yeah. So let's redo it again. Duh. All right. I think that was a take. Yep, that was pretty good. Ooh. Tight headphones. Yeah, so I got all the parts there. We may mess with it, 4 times instead of 2 times, 2 times instead of 4 times, put this section there, move this section back there. But we've got all of the parts in time with the click, or at least it felt like it was the whole way through. I ended on a 1, so that's always a good sign. All right, scratch track number 1 complete. On to the next song. Here we go. Okay, we are back again. It's still May 30th. We're first day here, Saturday. But I'm moving on to the second song. We did the scratch tracks for the first song called Crowd of Millions. We're going to move on to another song. I'm not sure where in the order this song is going to end up, but I figure it was easy. It's going to be easier. One of the ones that I'm hoping is going to be kind of quick, so I figured I'd try to knock it out here in the afternoon. This song is called Ghost from the River. It will be played on the Telecaster. So I guess I'll give a gear talk again. The last song was on my Taylor Acoustic. This one I wrote on the Telecaster, and it's Jeff Buckley inspired. Much like everything that comes out of a Telecaster when I play is inspired by Jeff Buckley, one of my favorite artists, a big influence on me, and the primary reason why I bought a Telecaster. So the Telecaster is made in Mexico, or at least we believe. This was bought secondhand, and it's kind of been refurbished or customized by the previous owner. Stripped off some color, but whatever. It's well worn in. I like that. It's well played. So we think it's a 2006 made in Mexico Fender Telecaster we believe they are called Twisted Tele pickups. It's got a 4-way switch. Most Telecasters have a 3-way switch. This one has a 4-way, which I believe when you have it all the way forward in the front position there, it's actually some sort of wiring to be like a humbucker split between the two single coil pickups. I honestly don't use it in that setting much. I mostly put it on just the neck pickup. It is my favorite sound. And yeah, what more is there to say about a Fender Telecaster other than it's, just the most classic guitar pretty much ever created. All right, I'll be playing through an amp. We're not going direct into the recording interface from the guitar like I did with the acoustic. This one I'm going to be playing through my amp, which is a Peavey Classic 50 combo. It's got 4 10-inch speakers, and I've also got a 4x12 Marshall cabinet next to it, but that's not what I've mic'd up. You see, maybe if you can see the microphone down there, I've mic'd up directly onto the Peavey Classic 50. This song has a whole lot of reverb. Basically, I cranked up the delay and reverb to get that kind of cathedral sounding thing that makes you think of Jeff Buckley. How does the song go? It's a completely different chord progression from what I said earlier in the other song. The guitar is tuned down a half a step, so E flat, and it's in D major. I'm not really sure. It's very jazz influenced. It's basically 2 progressions that I'll run through, and I don't know the names of the chords. Forgive my lack of music theory. All right, so it starts on a D. Then goes to whatever that chord is. I believe that's an E minor. And I don't know. I call that an E flat major minor. So that's the first progression. We'll call that the verse, And then there's a chorus, which is B minor, F sharp major, A minor, E minor. That's the whole song. Those two progressions, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I'm not going to try to get too fancy with it, with any bridges or anything like that. I want to keep it really simple and stripped down. Again, inspired by Jeff Buckley. Lyrically, it was an actual dream that I had one night that a ghost came out of the Mississippi River. Was it Jeff Buckley's ghost? I don't really recall. I kind of pretend in my mind that it was, but this ghost came up out of the river. It was a very misty night or day, you know how dreams are. And then the ghost sang a melody to me, and I couldn't really remember how it goes, but I woke up with just a melody in my head, and that's what the chord progression came out of. So I kind of had to figure it out. And the melody goes like this. This is over the chorus chords. So So I wrote the song just like that. There's actually no lyrics in the chorus. It's just the singing of that melody, as if it were the ghost in my dreams singing to me. Okay, so that's kind of the story behind this song. Now it's time to actually track it. Again, we're going to get a scratch track going. I'm probably going to have to stand up to do this one. Just because it feels better playing an electric, the Telecaster, standing up rather than sitting down. Hopefully we'll be able to knock it out pretty quick. It's in 6/8 and 52 beats per minute. All right, let's try to get it done. Okay, yeah, that was it. I think we might have done that in one take. Again, it's a scratch track, so no big deal, but it was all in time. A pretty simple tune, and that's why I wanted to knock it out. Okay, Ghost from the River, 2 songs in one day. We're making progress. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you're enjoying the journey as much as I am. All right. Stay safe and see y'all out there. Bye.